Hello, my name is Eric Gross, and I'm the co-founder of the Tech Academy. This is our student enrollment video. In it, I'll explain what the Tech Academy does and provide a brief history of our school. I will also go over what sets the Tech Academy apart from other schools and do a deeper dive into our curriculum and teaching methods. The Tech Academy is a tech school that trains students in a wide range of technology subjects, including cybersecurity, design, video game development, computer programming, artificial intelligence, mobile app development, data science, website development, and more. The school was founded in 2014 by my business partner Jack Stanley and me. We are licensed through the Higher Education Coordinating Commission. This requires a thorough application process that includes annual reviews, and not all coding boot camps have such a license. Our school license allows us to certify graduates in multiple technology subjects. Tech Academy boot camps are accessed online through our custom-made learning management system that we created in-house. A learning management system, called an LMS for short, is software that is used to deliver classes. If you've ever taken an online course, you've used an LMS. Students have access to their boot camp 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. One of the primary reasons students enroll at the Tech Academy is because they want to change careers. Maybe their current job is excessively stressful or too physically demanding, or they want more time with family and the ability to work from home, or they're working at an unstable job in an industry that's declining, or maybe they feel there's no further growth for them where they are and they've hit a pay ceiling, or they have a job they don't like and want to do something they feel passionate about, or they simply feel stuck. Our boot camps resolve all of these issues by providing a path into one of the stablest, fastest growing, and most lucrative industries on earth, tech. Some students that enroll are unemployed and simply want to obtain the skills necessary to break into tech, and others are already working in tech, but need a path to improve their promotability or ability to shift into a better role. Regardless of a student's personal life situation, a Tech Academy bootcamp is the best path into a fulfilling career that pays well and allows for work-life balance. To give you some insight into my background, I've had a passion for technology since my childhood. My dad worked on large computers made by IBM, a major computer manufacturer, and I was taking apart and rebuilding computers since before I was a teenager. I learned how to program computers at a very young age, and my love of this subject has only grown through the years. In the 1990s, I served in the US Navy, operating nuclear reactors and adding to my education and experience with computer technology. I was also selected to teach electronics, mathematics, digital computer operations, and other valuable skills during my time in the service. In fact, it was in the military that I discovered my passion for teaching. The following decades kept me busy as I continued to increase my skills in the technology industry. For example, as the internet and World Wide Web began gaining popularity in the mid-90s, I learned how to make e-commerce websites. Years ago, while I was working in another industry, my longtime friend Jack Stanley encouraged me to go back into software development, and so I returned to an area I've always held close to my heart, computer programming. After having worked as a senior-level software developer for several years, I decided to create my own business, called Prosper IT Consulting, in 2012. Prosper IT Consulting provided custom software and web development services for clients. I quickly found that various low-level tasks on the projects I did were perfect work for junior-level developers. This new situation required that I take upon myself the role of a mentor, because I couldn't find any decent resources for training junior developers. It was basically impossible to locate a program that could take someone with no background or experience and turn them into a competent entry-level programmer. Even now, if you look online at the existing introductory training content for coding, most people can't get through it, for very specific reasons, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So back in 2012, I personally trained several bright people to assist me in coding. Then one day, my son came home from his high school computer class and told me, "Dad, I want to go to a developer boot camp." Well, I quickly enlightened myself on what these were and realized that it was what I was basically doing already. It was then that I made the decision to turn this into a formal activity. And so I created a new company called Prosper IT Academy. In the beginning, I had about 5 students and was still juggling software development contracts. I acted as a tutor for these 5 students, and quickly found myself becoming overwhelmed. I saw tremendous potential in the school, but frankly, I didn't personally have the time or managerial experience to fully pull it off. I decided to reach out to my old friend Jack Stanley. I knew he shared my love for technology, but more importantly, he shared my passion for helping others. On top of that, over the years, I had seen him effectively establish and grow multiple companies. I knew that with the combination of his executive abilities and my technical skills, we could achieve our goals as a school. In addition to his experience in running successful businesses, Jack brought an extensive background in teaching and curriculum development to the table. So I offered him a partnership and he came aboard. Fast forward to the present, and we have trained thousands of students, with graduates working across all sectors of technology. One of the first things we did was change our name from Prosper IT Academy to the Tech Academy, because based on survey, the Tech Academy was a better name. And so, in the beginning of 2014, the Tech Academy was born. Jack and I then set out to create classes that could train the average person in the basics of coding and teach them enough that they could work as a junior developer. Since then, we've expanded from specializing in junior level software developers to junior level technology workers in a variety of disciplines. While all of our boot camps do cover coding, we have grown into additional subjects, like the ones I mentioned earlier. Many others contributed to our curriculum development as well, and it has been reviewed by Dr. Brent Wilson, who is the Computer Science Department Chair at George Fox University. The majority of the curriculum was authored or reviewed and edited by both Jack and I. For example, video scripts were typically written by Jack, edited by me, and then recorded. Our purpose in starting a coding bootcamp was to help others. In a relatively short period of time, people can get trained, land a tech job, and go on to live better lives. A mission statement is a summary of the aims and values of a company, organization, or individual. The mission statement of the Tech Academy is to graduate entry-level technology professionals that excel in the basics of their field and thereafter have successful careers in the tech industry and whose actions raise industry standards and surpass client expectations. One of the questions we are occasionally asked by students is, should I do a coding bootcamp or enroll in college? There are pros and cons to each. College takes 2 to 4 years, so you're able to cover more data due to having more time. And degrees look great on a resume. On the other hand, boot camps focus more on the practical, modern skills you can use on the job. Simply put, boot camps are the better choice for people with limited time and money. And feel free to do your own research here. Coding boot camps typically have higher job placement rates. So why take a boot camp? You can, of course, try to train yourself using online video tutorials and free resources on your own, but there are certain dangers in that approach. Where do you start? What tool or skill set should you master first? Sequencing the study so you don't start with data that's over your head can be challenging. Most online content is too difficult for beginners, even the so-called beginner classes. The primary reason that most of the existing online classes and tutorials are so hard is that they assume too much prior knowledge on the part of the student. But here's the biggest risk in trying to learn coding or technology by yourself with no guidance. You don't know what you don't know. You may think you've covered the important elements and data, only to find that you're missing vital knowledge or have wasted time learning something that no one uses anymore. At the Tech Academy, we start you at the correct point for each subject. We assume no prior knowledge, and we only cover what you need to know to be a well-rounded entry-level technology professional who can immediately get to work. I want to give you some facts and figures behind why we started the Tech Academy and what sets us apart. Some of the other technology schools and coding boot camps out there actually require students to pass a coding exam or to complete online training before being allowed to enroll, meaning they require a certain level of technical knowledge for students. It's almost as if you have to know coding before they teach you coding. The Tech Academy requires no past technology background or coding experience. Our programs can be studied by anyone and even prepare absolute beginners for junior level tech positions. As long as you can read, write, and perform basic math, addition, subtraction, etc., you can enroll in our programs. The content of our classes is thorough and relevant. For example, whereas some schools will only teach you 1 to 2 programming languages or skills, our boot camps cover several in-demand programming languages or specialties. The purpose of this is so that we don't stick you with only 1 or 2 areas of expertise. We want you to be well-rounded with a large skill set. Not only does this prepare you better for the future, it opens the door to a larger number of job opportunities right out of the gate. The Tech Academy programs are affordable. We are priced well under the national average. We also run occasional discounts, so please check with our admissions staff for the latest information on that. Tech Academy students choose their study schedule. There are no set class times, such as you have to be in class 9 to 6 Mondays to Fridays. You study when you want. Also, we don't hold you to rigid start dates. We offer open enrollment, which means you can start anytime. The Tech Academy has thousands of positive online reviews from students and graduates, with an average 4.8 star review rating across major review websites. We are also the proud recipient of several Best Coding Bootcamp awards. Instead of force-feeding groups of students data all at the same pace, our programs are self-paced, which means students can move through their bootcamp at their own speed. This enables students to spend more time on subjects when they want to, and breeze through topics they already know well. Our online instructors are available more than 40 hours a week. We recommend 40 hours of study each week, but this isn't required. Each student has a custom schedule with a minimum of 20 hours of study per week to ensure proper completion time. Students purchase access to their bootcamp for a limited number of weeks. Basically, we charge a weekly subscription fee for our programs with 2 options for each bootcamp. Full-time, students that can commit to study 40 hours or more each week, or part-time, students that cannot commit to at least 40 hours of study per week. Students who go over their time limit can purchase an extension. As an added service, we will keep in touch with you to ensure that you're keeping up with your study schedule. Because of the way our programs are structured, you won't be receiving live lectures from the instructors. To be sure, a lecture from a knowledgeable instructor can be valuable, but if you miss part of the lecture, or especially the whole thing, everything you try to learn afterwards will be harder. We do, however, make excellent use of recorded lectures, so you get the best of both worlds. As I mentioned before, we have created our own proprietary software called the Learning Management System. You will study courses laid out in our online LMS and receive assistance from instructors whenever needed. Upon enrollment, you will receive login credentials to sign into this system and access the contents of your courses. We believe that there are a variety of reasons that our students have been so successful upon graduation of our boot camps. We approach our training from the bottom up. In other words, we start with the basics and move up from there. Each step you take is designed specifically to prepare you for the following step. We provide you with multiple instructors that are available to assist you on demand. Instructors assist students through a combination of phone, text, email, video conferencing, and screen sharing. They will look over your assignments, review your code, and ensure that you are successfully moving along. Our instructors want you to succeed. All instructors are graduates of a Tech Academy bootcamp to ensure they're familiar with the course content. Some have previous coding experience and some don't. What matters most to us is that each instructor cares about the students and helps them to understand the subjects being taught. Being a good coder does not necessarily mean that you're a good teacher. We assess teaching skill and helpfulness when choosing instructors. Every Tech Academy employee is here to help you achieve your goal of getting trained in technology and then landing a tech job. During the initial stages of designing the curriculum, we knew that our students would need to be provided with content that was easy to understand, especially given the massive number of highly technical terms used in the computer industry. With this in mind, Jack and I decided to focus our attention on creating easy to understand definitions for terms that would be important to know. As a result, after you've completed just the first course in the program, you'll feel comfortable joining a conversation with the tech-savvy crowd. Your training will consist of videos, coding exercises, reading, tutorials, occasional tests, quizzes, essays, and other content so as to teach you the subject from many vantage points. Exercises, assignments, and projects are regularly assigned to students. We focus on practical and real-life coding challenges. All submitted assignments will be checked and personally responded to by an instructor. Each Tech Academy bootcamp is composed of several courses. Some courses are included on every bootcamp, like our Computer and Technology Basics course, while others are only included on one bootcamp, like our Cybersecurity course. The point is that your bootcamp will be made up of multiple courses, properly sequenced in order of difficulty to give you a well-rounded skill set. We found it absolutely necessary for students to have a firm foundation in technology and coding prior to moving into various specialized topics. And so every bootcamp begins with computer science fundamentals. Then students learn the technical subjects related to their bootcamp and end with job placement training and assistance. We also take students through 2-week live projects, which provide real-world experience that graduates can include on their resumes. This is an opportunity to not only put their skills to the test, but attend meetings with instructors and to work as part of a team. Each step on your bootcamp builds on the earlier courses to bring you to the point where you are a confident and competent entry-level tech worker. We have created separate informational videos that explain what is included on each of our bootcamps. You will not be spoon-fed data, and we don't cover everything. This is totally normal and is just part of the industry. The key is learning how to find solutions for problems. It would be impossible to train someone for every possible coding scenario you could run into. Instead, we will train you in how to find answers and solve problems on your own, how to think like a software developer. Whether or not you end up working as a software developer, these are valuable skills to have. Our goal is to teach you to teach yourself. As a bootcamp, we are limited in how much we can cover in the short amount of time available to you. Therefore, you will only learn the basics of each subject, but by persisting through your training, you will arrive at a point where you can confidently self-teach and advance your skills in the subjects covered on your bootcamp. As an example, we once had a student complete one of our bootcamps and then interview for a software development position. He was given a coding challenge to complete in a computer language called Java. Java was not covered on his bootcamp. So this student spent a couple of days teaching himself the basics of the Java language, and then he aced the coding challenge. The point is, after learning several languages on your program, you will find it much easier to pick up even more skills in the future. Again, our goal is to help you become a well-rounded entry-level technology professional. We continuously survey the tech industry in order to determine what is most in demand. This has played a critical part in deciding what skills to teach our students. Each course in our bootcamps varies in length. For example, there are courses which take a day to complete, and some courses that take weeks. Again, each bootcamp is composed of several individual courses that you will do in an exact order. The courses are sequenced strategically so that they build upon each other. Therefore, the courses on any particular bootcamp we deliver are only offered in a full, entire package. If you started on, say, the 5th course of your bootcamp, skipping the first 4, you would be lost, because on that 5th course, we refer to many things we covered earlier. The courses are connected and must be done in sequence. As I touched upon earlier, we don't just pigeonhole you into one language or skill set. You'll be trained in several areas, which will make learning new technologies in the future much easier, because you'll already have gone through the process several times with us. This is part of how we achieve our goal of creating well-rounded technology workers. There are several categories of tools that any tech professional should know. We will, of course, train you in at least one example of each of these tools as you get through your program, but we'll also show you what's behind that category of tool. That way, when you later encounter a tool that isn't the exact one you used in your training, you should be able to pick it up rapidly anyway. We cover the basics of computers and technology more than almost any other code school. This is extremely valuable because it prepares you to learn new technology in the future. And there's one thing you can be sure of with technology: it always changes. Having a firm foundation will set you up well. The experience you will gain during the live project will take you to the next level, and the code that you've written will be added to your online portfolio. Speaking of a portfolio, some of the code and projects that you write throughout your time with us will be stored in an online portfolio where you'll have the opportunity to present your work to potential employers. This experience assists one greatly in their job search. You will also be given access to one-on-one guidance from our job placement directors, who will provide you with all the tools you'll need to find employment. Students that complete the program receive both a certificate of completion and a letter of recommendation from the school to assist them in their job search. Remember, there are no set start dates, and we offer open enrollment, which means students can start any day, anytime. And just because it bears repeating, I want to summarize the primary differences between us and other coding boot camps, besides our awards and stellar reviews. You study whenever and wherever you want. There are no set class hours, and we've worked very hard at making tech and coding understandable to everyone. To conclude, if you're interested in learning more about our boot camps, the next step is to simply continue with our online Tech Academy overview steps. These are the steps that follow the contact form on our website, which you can also access by logging into your free account. These steps thoroughly describe our programs and answer common questions. And if you need any help, please contact a member of our admissions team. If you want to enroll at the Tech Academy, I recommend doing so today. The sooner you get going, the sooner you'll have these new skills and a new rewarding career. On behalf of the Tech Academy staff, we would love to have you as a student. Thank you for your time, and good luck.